But he was always into flying. Even when he was in high school, he and one of the local people here who also ended up in the war, they used to build their own planes, their own model planes, and they had them rigged for radio control. This is back when the only way that happened is if you were ingenious enough to figure out how to do it yourself. It wasn't like today you can send off an order to China and back comes a quadricopter and you can fly it around, take pictures, and there was none of that. He built his own, what we would call hi-fi sets, out of individual parts. At some point in time he then was recruited into the OSS, which now is the CIA, and his missions were flying spies over the Alps. And this was not an easy thing because of the weather systems, updrafts and everything is very violent. But he was able to achieve it, and not everybody wanted to go, but I remember him recounting that, them telling him about, what the missions were going to be and how dangerous they were and how few people were willing to do it. And his reply was, okay, let's go. We ain't getting anything done talking about it. And so he'd fly up over real close to the ground as possible so that the German radar, because they had radar-controlled guns that had quite a range, both the radar detection and the guns themselves. I mean, they could shoot things you couldn't see. And so he had to stay close to the ground to avoid detection, and that was quite dangerous. And he was telling me one time, just to give you an idea of the type of guy he was, he never really would take anybody's word for anything, because when he was training, he was told, well, look, here's what you do when you fly in this plane, and whatever you do, don't touch this little lever here. Because, well, what is that? Well, I forget the explanation, but it's something to do with controlling the engine in a way that it wasn't designed to be used. So it's there, but don't touch it. You can go this far if you had to. Well, on one of his missions, he was caught in I guess the weather conditions and winds were so violent that he was going down. And he tried to pull out, but there wasn't enough power. Even though, I mean, the engines on these planes were enormous. And they're very powerful, but not enough. So, what did he do? Never mind what that guy told me back in the training. In with the lever. And he said, you wouldn't believe the burst of power that came out of that plane. And he said it was just enough to get me out.